But the word feminisation, the term feminisation implies something active, something ongoing. So, feminisation of poverty really doesn't apply to a situation, a static situation. This is summed up very nicely here by Medeiros and Costa, two Brazilian researchers. In spite of its multiple meanings, the feminisation of poverty should not be confused with the existence of higher levels of poverty among women or female-headed households. The term feminisation relates to the way poverty changes over time, whereas higher levels of poverty, which include the so-called over-representation of women in poverty, focuses on a view of poverty at a given moment. Feminisation is a process, higher poverty is a state. Now you can have a situation, of course, where poverty may have been masculinising over a given time period, but where poverty is still a feminised state, okay? I think that's actually a very relevant point to bear in mind. So people are using feminisation extremely carelessly here. Now, another thing that I'd just like to bring to the table now is supposedly in 1995, this figure plucked out of wherever, the ether, where 70% of the world's poor are women and rising, seems to have stuck to such a degree that everyone is still talking about 70%. Now, if the figure was rising, if the proportion was rising, why has nobody offered an idea of where we are in 2010, 2011? So 15 years on, we're still bandying around this strange figure of 70%, which was theoretically untenable in the first instance. And I'm sorry, I like Plan International, and State of the World's Girls is a good publication, except when it says 70% of the world's 1.5 billion people living on $1 a day or less are female. I do not know how they come up with that figure, and quite honestly, I don't think the gender and development community does itself many favours when a lot of the statistics it plucks out to support its arguments are actually bogus. Now, by the same token, I think that the smokescreen or silence may be something to do with the fact that there have been a number of policy purposes served by this notion of the feminisation of poverty. In the wake of current and deeply problematic holy trinities between poverty alleviation, gender equality, women's empowerment, and